I know last time we talked to you, you still had some decisions to make on your pitching for the weekend. Have you settled in on your arms?
Yeah, we're going to go with Bolden tomorrow. He threw 50 some pitches, I think, Sunday, and then we're going to go right back with the rotation that we did on the weekend.
Russell.
Coach, I was going to ask about Christian Franklin, him coming up clutch on Monday night. How much of that is the hard work he puts in every day, and how much maybe is that a mental approach, to stay with it, to stay in it?
Yeah, I think, he had a rough first game. Really, the second ball game, leading up to your question, he hit some balls extremely hard. I think he flew out, and maybe it was his last at bat on opening night. He flew out about 405 foot away. He thought he hit a home run when he left the bat. He hits it anywhere but dead center at that ballpark. You can't hardly hit it out of there in center. So he lined out to left, and he hit some balls hard, but he didn't let it get to him. Obviously, I'm sure it bothers him. I mean, everybody wants to have nice stats and try to impress every day, but he's pretty strong mentally, and he got the big hit for us there that tied it up, and then we ended up scoring. He was getting us the lead, and we never let it up. But he's a hardworking kid that he's one of the last to leave every day, if not the last, and he stays and does extra work. And I think he's kind of got this routine he's in. I think it makes him feel good about everything he's doing, that he's putting in his best effort his last year here.
Tom.
Hey, Dave, I don't think we had talked to you before we talked to Caleb the other night, and he said he developed a slider basically over the course of 1 week. So how has that helped him? What, like, his repertoire, and what has the slider done for him?
Yeah, what he did is he just developed a better slider. He had a slider, but it wasn't moving like that. He changed his grip, started experimenting with some things, and obviously it worked. And there's a lot of stories like that out there. Pitchers will tell you, they pick somebody's brain, or ask somebody how they're holding their slider or their changeup or whatever, and it's been career changing for some guys, big leaguers. So it's obviously good for us and good for him that he has confidence in the pitch, and he's something that can make him stand out.
Hutch.
Yeah, Dave, you'd said that you had thought about starting Nolan and Wicklander this week. And what kind of role do you envision them having against SEMO?
Same role, out of the pen. Obviously, that's all there is right now, because we've named our 4 starters out of the pen.
And then also the pitch counts were 70 to 75 last week. Do you expect to extend that for your starters this weekend?
Yeah, just a little bit. But then again, it depends on if it's a tough 75 or they're out of the windup a lot. And if there's a lot of tough, or an inning where they throw 30 pitches and then they have some quick ones, it could get them out quicker, because if there are a lot of 15 to 20 pitch innings, a few of those, that's easier to send them back out there. Just we'll really keep an eye on that second week.
Matt.
Hey, what is Matt Goodhart's status for the weekend? And then if he can play, based on the other night, it sounded like you plan on maybe doing some different things with your fielders this week.
Yeah, he was cleared to play. So we'll see how it goes at our workout today. And I'm not sure I'm going to start him tomorrow, but he'll definitely, if he's good to go, he'll be in the lineup a couple times at least this weekend. Obviously, it would probably move around some people. It's whether I take an outfielder out or take a third baseman out and move somebody over. That's kind of the way it's looked so far.
Clay.
Coach, we're writing about how good your team is now. What's the danger from your perspective of, I guess, borrow Nick Saban line of taking the rat poison and reading what we write and staying grounded, I guess, is the question, yeah. Coach.
Well, I didn't even know until yesterday afternoon late where we were ranked by one poll, and I won't even talk about it with the team today as far as where we're ranked, because it's too early to know who's where. I mean, there's some really good teams across the country, and Texas Tech's as good as any team we played down there, and they didn't win a game. So I don't get all caught up in it right now. Probably just mention it again, just really in almost passing way, that these teams are going to see all this and they're going to give us a little extra fight. So we just need to, like you said, we need to stay grounded and just play. Really liked what I saw from our team and in the dugout this weekend. No panic, down in a couple of games, and then you take it a step farther. You look at Monday night, sixth inning, we're down. Man, there was guys getting after it in the dugout about not letting this game go. We need to win this game. And, they could have rolled over and said, hey, we're 2-0. It's been a good trip. If we win, we win. We don't, we don't. But I didn't see that at all. So that was a really good sign for me.
Thanks.
Nate.
Yeah, just what do you know about SEMO after their series of South Alabama?
Well, I know that they're a little bit older. The lefty we're going to see tomorrow is he's got good stuff, 90 to 94, older kid, and he held South Alabama down, who's one of the projected teams to win their division or league. So, I know we're going to have our hands full. I know Coach serves real well. Andy played for me. He was a senior in Nebraska my first year there, and he's coached at A&M. He's coached at Kansas State, and he's got some good players. Good recruiter, works hard, and I don't think he would have added another game with us if he didn't feel like they could come down there and compete and had a chance to win. So, our focus really is for us to continue to get better. And, hopefully, we're going to try to win every game. I am going to mix it up a little bit here and there, but, next week we don't have a midweek game, unfortunately. That was one we just kind of lost, to be honest. I think, because of Nebraska, we had to shift around some things, but so we don't play after this weekend for a full week unless we can find a game. So we'll try to use some people, but bottom line, we're going to try to get better and hopefully win them all.
Phil.
Hey, Dave. I know with SEMO coming in, Trevor Ezel is an assistant coach for them, helping out the hitters. And I kind of thought I might have seen a bit of a resemblance between he and Cullen Smith, in maybe a little bit of the way they play. That I don't know how much first base Cullen played before this season. He looked pretty good for this past weekend. That was the same with Ezel. I don't think he played much first base before he played for you, and he was great over there. Do you see some of that similarity between those two guys?
Yeah, I see a little bit for sure, and it's probably too early to judge that. But you're talking about Cullen Smith, who played third base as a freshman in college, and then the next 2 years he started at second base, and then we got him first time playing first to play as far as in Division I baseball game. He's still got a ways to go. He's gonna footwork and little things on tricky plays. If they make good throws, not a big deal. But if it falls off here or there, you got to move your feet left and right and not get locked in the middle of the base. You got to be able to slide from side to side and even change feet to expand yourself. But definitely plays hard like Trevor, and he's intense in the dugout. I'm almost to the point where I say, tell you, hey, calm down a little bit. We're going to be all right. But I love it. The guy wants to win. And this is his only year here, like Trevor. This will be the year that he gets to play, and he wants to make the most of it. And but definitely the same, I'd say, mindset. When they attack the game.
Bob.
Hey, David, I had a couple here. I guess is the relationship between the coaching staffs is that why this series was scheduled?
It probably helped. We needed an extra game, and we got that. I don't know. I can't remember exactly when we scheduled this series, but I think it was maybe last fall because someone out of California was supposed to come in here, and they were worried about being able to get out of state. And I think it was Cal Northridge, and Andy lost a series to somebody, so it worked out for us. We both had the same weekend looking for a team, and then we added the fourth game, I don't know, a month ago or so, and I'd say it definitely helped. It made it easier for sure.
And then this is going to be your first home game, since you lost a lot of them last year because of the pandemic. I don't know. Is there any extra excitement or emotion or anything to get back on the field here at home in front of your, what would probably be a decent sized crowd, I guess?
I think that the crowd will be as big as it can be. I think whatever the max they're going to let in, I think that many people are going to show up. I mean, our fans are amazing. I mean, you look at how many people showed up in Arlington, and a lot of those faces I recognize that live around here or in this state, so they traveled. Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement to play our first game here at Baum Walker Stadium. The new expansion's going on. Obviously, it's not complete, but a lot of times we've already got the first game, so to speak, jitters out of the way, and but so Southeast Missouri State, they've already been on the road, so it's not going to be like they're going to be all stressed out coming in here. But yeah, definitely opening day is always special, and it looks like the weather's going to be okay. Got a little spoiled yesterday with that 70+ degree weather, and today's been a little bit more down to normal, and then tomorrow I think it's going to be mid-50s. So hey, we're just glad we're home, get to play home for a while.
Jason.
Coach, what makes SEMO tough? I mean, they've always played you guys tough, and it's always been a good series. It's kind of been even when you've played them.
Yeah, I just think they do a good job of recruiting. They play in a good league, and they play a good non-conference schedule. So I don't feel like that they're intimidated. Some schools might come in that are mid-majors that are a little nervous. I don't sense this when they're on the field with us, and we're going to have to play really good baseball to win games. And if we do, we'll win some games. If we don't, we'll get beat. So, it's credit to their coaching staff and their in the mindset that they've instilled in these kids.
Phil.
Jackson Wiggins had a really impressive debut. And I know you've said that, you envision him eventually as a starter, potentially even this year. How do you think you might use him this weekend? Do you think he could go multiple innings or multiple games?
Well, I would say probably there's a either or both. I mean, if we needed to bring him in the ninth tomorrow to finish the game and then again on Saturday, we'd probably do that, or Sunday for sure. If we threw him 2 innings tomorrow, we could probably throw him 2 or 3 or 4. He's been stretched out. We just pulled him out of the game because our thinking was yeah, it's a tight game. We've got some good arms that need to go in there. Whatever inning was, he couldn't top it. Let's just get him out of there with a really good taste in his mouth and a lot of confidence. And but yeah, he had plenty of pitches left out there that he could have gone back out for an inning or 2 more. So yeah, very, very talented. I see him as a little bit of everything right now for us as far as his role. But he'll start here one day, whether it's this year or next. But he's definitely one of our guys.
Hutch.
Yeah, Dave, I was going to ask you about a couple of guys we saw last year as freshmen, Blake Adams, Will McIntyre, and Zach Morris. What have you seen from those guys, and do you see them contributing this year as well?
Yep, I do. Adams is throwing the ball pretty good. He's actually got a slider that's better than he's had. He's always had a good curveball. It's a little slower. Velocity's up. I think in a normal year, you'd see him more. We just have guys that are back, and he's going to move into a role. He's a guy that we thought about starting maybe in this series. He could come along relief for us this year. Who are the other guys you asked about?
McIntyre and Morris.
Yeah. I mean, Morris, we talked about him. We didn't throw him this weekend. We thought about it a couple of times. He's a guy that, he could be a starter, but we see him more as an inning eater in the middle, maybe come and get a big left-handed hitter out, go back out after that and just let him go. McIntyre hasn't gotten off to a great start here. Hadn't had a great fall, didn't have a great spring, obviously. And, we didn't have him on the trip. So, it's a tough deal. We got guys that are ahead of him right now. We think he's got good stuff, but, hopefully it'll come out here in the future.
Clay.
Coach, Slavin's obviously had a big weekend. what does he do at the plate? And just the transition from junior college to that setting is pretty big. And just how did you see him handling everything?
Well, I thought he handled it real well. You know, you think about his story. He left high school early, like Robert did. He went to Wichita State in the spring of his senior year of high school, and then actually went back to Wichita State in the fall. And you know, his different coaches then recruited him. He just didn't have a good feeling there, and he decided, I'm going to go to junior college in the spring. And then he put up monster numbers for about a month there. Then the season ended, and then we got him. So he does have a little bit of experience at the Division I level, being around, you know, some environments. But that environment down there is different. You know, the level of competition, playing for Arkansas and being right on the edge of being in the lineup or DHing. And I thought he handled himself well. He attacks the baseball. He goes up there to hit. He'll take a walk every now and then, but he's going to swing it. If it's near the zone, he's going to take a hack, basically, is the way what we say. So we like his approach.
Final two questions here, Matt and Phil.
Hey, another pitcher we didn't see this weekend was Nate Wohlgemuth. What's his status? What kind of role do you envision for him? And then without midweek games right now, how tough is it to get innings for all of these pitchers? Because you got a lot.
Yeah. Well, Nate's right in the mix, but he tweaked his back, and we had to hold him out. He threw a bullpen while we were in Arlington. It went well. He's going to throw a little bit today. If it goes good, he might be available the second half of the weekend. So, no, he's got a really good arm. He's got good fastball and a plus changeup, and he can help us right away. So we'll get him out there as soon as we can. And you know, that's kind of what we see with him.
Phil, last question here.
Jalen Battles was really impressive over the weekend. The ball was jumping off his bat, but then there was a play that he made against TCU, Dave, that I think caught everybody's attention. Went into the hole from deep shortstop, threw a laser to first, and got the guy by a couple of steps. That showed a lot. I wonder if you remember that play and what you think that says about Jalen's ability with that throwing arm.
Yeah, he took 3 or 4 steps to his right, backhanded the ball, and actually didn't rush it, planted it, and let it go, and threw a strike. And we kind of went wow in the dugout as well. We had seen that a little bit in the fall. Jalen's one of those guys that he doesn't show you everything in practice as far as, throwing hard every play, and which I kind of like, because, you only have so many of those in that arm. And I've talked to him about that, and but it's in there. He works hard. He's got a good arm, but he definitely showed out right there that he can make the play from deep in the hole, and he has big time shortstop arm there. That was impressive, and yeah, I'll remember that play for a long time.
Thanks, Coach. I'll do it.